Haley, what do you do to unwind these days?
Recently, I picked up knitting.
Oh, do you listen to any podcasts or music while you do it?
Oh, a little Thread Zeppelin and Pearl Jam.
Why do I even bother with you?
This is how I roll. Will you just let me knit in peace?
In ArchRavels, players are competing to outsmart their fellow crafters in this drafting, set collection, resource management, and order fulfillment game. Hook and stitch your way to the top. In this game, players will be gathering yarn, crafting them into items, and then exchanging those items to complete projects, earning them points. To set up the game, create the Yarn Bazaar by shuffling all of the special request cards together and then randomly select 2 requests per player. Put the rest back in the box. Then you're going to shuffle up the selected ones into the main deck and place them face down on the board. Turn over the top 6 cards and then place them into a grid. Then put the yarn tray onto the table next to the cards and fill each one with 1 color of yarn tokens. Next, you're going to put all of the item tokens in a row, and finally you'll create the project list. Shuffle all of the project cards and randomly select 3 projects per player without examining them. This will create the project deck. Put the rest back inside the box, and then put this face down on the table and turn over the top 3 projects and place them into a row. Each player is then given a board and the matching action selection token. Then they'll each get 1 randomly selected bear, mitten, and scarf pattern tile, a personal yarn bowl, and 1 yarn token of each color. They'll place their pattern tiles on their player board as well as their yarn bowls with their yarn tokens inside of it. Each player board represents a specialist in the crafting community with a unique ability. Rebecca is thrifty and can shop more than the other players. Derek is crafty and can craft more than any other player. Neha has a unique action allowing them to craft 1 item ignoring rule colors. Ted has a unique action to take 3 yarn tokens of their choice from the supply. There are 3 kinds of cards in the main deck: yarn cards, event cards, and special request cards. Yarn cards depict yarn of 6 different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, in various combinations. Each card also has a number on it, 1, 2, or 3, indicating exactly how many total yarn tokens that it's worth. Event cards depict random events that occur when the player reveals cards. Each one includes the rules on how it should be resolved. Some will instruct all players to do a thing, and others will only instruct the active player to make a choice. Special requests are requests from your friends and fans to make special or unique items. We'll go over the details on special requests in just a bit. Project cards depict a group of items that can be collected and traded for points. Each project card has a name, a point value, and the items you need to complete it. Patterns and pattern tiles depict the exact number of colors of yarn tokens that a crafter will need to create that specific item. For a hat, the player would need 2 yarn of different colors. For the bear, the player would need 3 yarn of 1 color. For mittens, the player needs 2 yarn of 1 color and 1 yarn of any other. For a scarf, the player needs 4 yarn of all different colors. And for a blanket, the player will need 5 yarn of all 1 color. These will sometimes vary from game to game, but the hat and the blanket pattern will always remain the same. Players will take turns clockwise in order, starting with the player who last crafted something. There are 2 phases during a player's turn: the action phase and the restock phase. On their turn, the player chooses one of the 4 action spaces on their player board to move their token to. Then they may do the action indicated on that space. The token must always be moved to a new space each turn, and they cannot be repeated. Each player has a number of actions to choose from. Shop. Discard the number of cards indicated on the player's board from the Yarn Bazaar and then collect tokens equal to the color amount depicted on those cards from the bazaar. Place your new token in your personal yarn bowl and do not replace the cards in the Yarn Bazaar at this time. Take 3 yarn. This is Ted's unique ability. It allows them to take 3 yarn tokens from the bazaar without discarding any cards. Craft. Turn in the required number of yarn tokens to create an item and then take that item token from the supply. You may repeat this the number of times indicated on your craft action. Craft 1 using any colors. This allows Nia to craft any item ignoring color rules while crafting it. Exchange. Return any number of yarn tokens of one color to Bazaar, and then take the same number of yarn tokens of any other color from the Bazaar. After the action phase has been taken, then the restock phase takes place. Two things happen during the restock phase: stocking the Bazaar and taking restock actions. When stocking the Bazaar, the players reveal cards from the main deck, and then they place them into any empty slots in the Yarn Bazaar. Once all of the empty slots have been filled, if any event cards or special requests are revealed this way, then the players will resolve them now, but they don't replace them in the Bazaar. Any empty spots in the Bazaar will be treated as one yarn of any color space for the next player. When event cards are drawn, follow their instructions. When special request cards are drawn, choose whether to take it for yourself or give it to another player. That can be good or bad for them. When taking restock actions, the players may perform all, some, or none of the following actions during the stocking phase: learn a new pattern, frog it, or complete a project. When learning a new pattern, the player may discard an item token of any type to remove that item's pattern tile from their crafting board. Once they have a pattern tile from a single type of item, they may use any colors to craft that item, but it must still follow the pattern rules. A bear will always cost 3 yarn of a single color, for example. When choosing to frog it, the player places an item token from their crafting area back into the supply, and then they take yarn tokens from the Bazaar that match their current pattern for that item. When completing a project, the players select a project card from the project list, and then they discard the item tokens depicted on the card to complete it. Each item token may only be used as a part of a single project, then it's returned to the supply upon the completion of the project. Any open spots from the project list are filled in, unless there are not enough cards to do so, in which case the game ends. At that point, each player other than the active one gets one chance to craft a single item or an incomplete special request using their current pattern tiles and yarn tokens that they have available. Players add up their points from their projects, special requests, and item tokens that were completed. Then they add any points that they earned from learning patterns, and then they must subtract points for their incomplete special requests. As I mentioned earlier, could be a bad thing, and also take away points for each yarn token remaining in their personal yarn bowl. The player with the most points at the end of the game is the winner. And that's how you play ArchRavels. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And tell us what color scarf you would want to knit. Be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming!